So it's Sunday, 5:30 p.m. I have just been literally in the middle of catching up on some of my numbers. Usually I'm pretty on top of tracking my data, but I've just caught up for the last 2 months in terms of tracking all the expenses in and out and that sort of thing. But today, like I said here, I was literally catching up on the last 2 months of my numbers, and I realized that I had my biggest ever cash collected month in June. That was around 28K. I'll show you in my Stripe account in a moment's time. But I was like blown away at that number. Now, the crazy thing is, and I'll speak about this sort of paradigm I get stuck in a moment, is like for me, even saying or talking about that number, I'm like, that's not really that exciting. Like that's not really that good. That's how I perceive things, which is crazy. But if I think back, way back when I was getting started, that number seemed unfathomable. I didn't even think that was humanly possible. Like I was blown away when I saw that number. But then the even cooler thing is that I was able to back that up in July with a 24K cash collected month. So the total cash collected for both June and July combined was $53,166.26 if you want to count the cents. I honestly did not expect to see that number, and it's absolutely mind-boggling to me. So in this video, what I want to do is just really walk you through some insights around how that number actually happened, what it is that I'm doing, and just a few other bits and pieces to really make you see that this is also possible for someone like you. If you're a personal trainer or you're a health coach and you're either just getting started online or you're looking to scale your coaching business from maybe 5K to 10K a month, or from sort of 10K to 20K a month, then this video is definitely going to help you get a little bit more information about how you can start to get, some of these bigger revenue numbers. So 53,000 cash collected. If you want to have a look at my Stripe account, just so you know that I'm not talking out of my ass, let me zoom in here. There you go, 53,166. And that was from, 1st of June to the 31st of July. So pretty crazy. Now the thing is with that is I don't really talk about revenue. Like that's cash collected. That's the biggest thing here, is like so many other gurus are like, I did 150K a month, but I only collected 10 grand. It's like, bruh, it doesn't even matter. It's pointless. So like this is literally cash in the bank. Like if I checked my bank account, you would see that money ending up inside of there, which is awesome. But like I said, I'm creating this video just to give you like a full peek behind the curtains of my business to, hopefully inspire and also motivate you to really kick things into gear with your online coaching business. If you had have spoken to me like a year ago, I believe that anything above 10K a month was like near impossible to reach without a huge team behind you, which is what I never wanted. So the really big thing I want you to get from this video is that it's possible to scale beyond 10K a month. It's possible to scale from 0 to 5K a month. Don't watch this and go, holy crap, I don't even know how to get to 10K a month. What I'm going to talk about in this video will help you do that. And this is the crazy thing, is for me, I never thought this was even possible. I was always just under the assumption that if I wanted to achieve that certain level, then it was going to be sales teams and coaches and closers and all this crazy complex stuff, bro scaling as they say. I never wanted that. So the crazy thing is I've achieved that without any of that, which I'm going to go through in a moment's time here. So let me go over some observations as to how I've kind of achieved that number. The crazy thing is I had a low ad spend. So just looking at this, I had low ad spend. I spent roughly $2,800 across the 2 months. It's about $350 a week, give or take. There's probably a little bit more on this, but around, let's say 3K. In my old acquisition system, I'd spend close to double that. That's crazy. Like I've halved my advertising costs using this system. With the ads that I was running, I've sold 5 clients into my new program, the Freedom Coach Formula, which only launched in late June. So I made 5 sales sort of back end of June, first couple of weeks of July. Since then, I've put my ads on pause just while I refine a few things in the back end and just make sure the clients that are coming in, they're getting results as well. But the crazy thing was how easy sales were based on my new approach. With this new approach, what we're focusing on is, if you've ever heard of the larger market formula, it's kind of broken down into 4 key areas. most of the time, we just try and focus on the 3% of people in the top of the market who are ready to buy right now. But the problem with this is it's just like trying to take somebody home from the bar when you haven't even bought them a drink yet. Like 9 times out of 10, you're going to get no's. And that's what my previous approach was. Whereas the approach that I'm utilizing now and my clients are also utilizing now is we are not just treating every single lead like they're ready to buy right now. This is the worst way to approach marketing and sales. So we're taking a little bit more of a drawn out approach and we're being a little bit more patient with what we are doing, but it's making the sales side of things so much easier because these people are getting to know, like, and trust me. Same thing with my clients. Their prospects are getting to know, like, and trust them. Just makes it so much easier to make sales as opposed to trying to convince somebody on a sales call, which was like the previous method that I was using. Now, those 5 clients didn't equate to the entire 50K, keep in mind. So the program price point for Freedom Coach is not $10,000. It's far less than that, and it's quite cheap at the moment just because I'm still on the back end of building things out. But I'm not going to be covering prices in this video. If you do want to find out the prices, then you know where to find me. Just chase me up on Instagram. The interesting thing to reach that 50K though is I also have another 11 clients who are on a monthly recurring revenue model. So this just validates the importance of having monthly recurring revenue. When I was getting started, all I was taught was like collect high ticket payments and pay in fulls only. That's the best way to do it, blah, 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 blah. And while there is some merit to that, you make that sale and now you have to fulfill on that client for the next 12 weeks, 16 weeks, 6 months, whatever it is, without getting any more cash. So you basically go through this like, feast and famine kind of thing where it's like you'll make a sale and then it's like, okay, chase, sale, chase, sale. So it's a terrible place to be in. Monthly recurring revenue just means there's payments hitting your account every single month, which just makes it easier to keep cash flow coming in. So I've managed to build up this monthly recurring revenue to around, I would say 15K-ish a month. It varies a little bit, but then the new sales coming in is what's tipping that over. So every time I get a pay in full, which most of those 5 clients were, my bank account looks really healthy at that point. But if I don't make any sales for a few weeks, I'm also safe. Like right now, I've dialed my ads down for Freedom Coach while I do a few things like I said, but I'm not like, oh my God, I need sales, because I've got that monthly recurring revenue in the background there as well. Now, the paid ad strategy is incredibly simple compared to what I've usually followed and also taught clients in the past. In fact, it's so simple. This is hilarious. It's so simple. I've had people come on meetings with me. I've walked them through the system and then they go and try and bootstrap the system by copying what they could find by just trying to funnel hack my shit and basically implementing it and doing it themselves. That will work to a certain extent, but I can guarantee you that just by copying people's things doesn't mean that you're going to get it as well, because this strategy is so simple. It's like, oh, this is actually really simple, but there's plenty of things that aren't shown with the marketing on the front end that happen in the back end that need to be in place. So for the people, there's a handful of people that have done this already. It's actually crazy. For those ones that have done that, don't come calling back to me in a few weeks' time when I've put my prices up, because you're going to have to pay those higher prices. It's as simple as that. The next cool thing, or the next observation, I'm super leveraged at the moment. I'm working probably, I would say 4 hours a day, 3 to 4 hours a day right now, maximum 5 on some days. The reason why I say that is like I'm right in the middle of packing up to move overseas to Bali. So like I'm selling my car, selling my furniture. This room that I'm filming this video in 5 days time, I'm moving out of. Like, so it's funny, you see this cool setup, there's literally nothing else in my house. It's crazy. But that wouldn't be possible if I didn't have these sort of systems and processes in place to allow me to do that. So the reason why I'm explaining this, I'm not just like, oh, I'm not working much. This was all possible, the $50,000 in 2 months. Like, let's just say 25K in a month to square it down. I think it was like 28 and 24 or something like that, whatever it is. But would you happily take 25K a month working less than 5 hours a day? Fucking hell yeah, I would. Like, that's a huge win. So this is a really interesting observation, is like, I'm not working that much, but I'm also earning the most amount of money I've ever earned, ever. And I'm working less. It's like, does not compute. Moving on to some insights. Invest in help. So I've spent roughly $35,000 on 2 mentors in the last 3 months that are helping me with this new direction that I'm taking. This really proves that you got to spend money to make money. Like, I have been around for, like, please also keep in mind that this isn't like 50K in a couple of weeks and I'm just getting started. I've been around for about 4 years now online. So it's really starting to gain some traction now at this point. So I could have continued down the path myself, but it's like, well, that might take a long time. The thing about these guys that are trying to copy me up here, bootstrapping it, it's probably going to take them another 6 months to work it out. Whereas for me, I was like, all right, I kind of understand marketing. Well, I do understand marketing. I understand fulfillment, I understand sales, delivery, whatever it is. But I know there's additional things out there, a few small bits and pieces that I'm missing. I'm just going to pay for it. Now, this 35K didn't come out of the 50K. This was previous money earned. So I wouldn't say that's chewed into the profits, because there was, I think, about a 68% profit from the last 2 months, which is not too bad, considering I've had a few other expenses in my business as well. Like, ideally, I want to be sitting at about 70% or above. But bringing it back to the point here is that if you want to take things to the next level, you need to get help. It's as simple as that. You can do all the funnel hacking and watch all the videos on YouTube and read all the guides and check out people's content and all that kind of stuff. But that's wasting time, in my opinion. That's procrastinating. You may as well pay somebody, get it direct to you, and then go implement that, make that cash back, then make more money. I made 50K in 2 months. This was 35K. If you just look at those two numbers, I've already made the money back. It's like, why don't more coaches do this? It blows my mind. Another insight is, in previous weeks, I had been editing all of my own content. So now I've hired like this weapon editor. So now all I need to do is like ideate, script, and shoot, which then leverages my bandwidth. So this is a really interesting insight here, is that I'm working less, and this obviously then ties in with the whole content thing. Like, I can focus more. So the quality of work I'm getting done in the shorter time is actually higher quality, more impactful, and it's like focusing on like the whole 80-20 Pareto rule, if you think about it. So this has been a pivotal thing for me, and even though that's paying money to someone to do the editing, I was wasting like 4 or 5 hours a week editing videos. So this has just like been like an absolute game changer for me in terms of being able to put all my attention in the right areas of my business. Another interesting insight is things weren't initially kicking off a few weeks back like I wanted it to. So this is when I invested in a mentor as well. But I also went back to the drawing board and I dialed my niche in even further, which made things immediately gain traction. So this just again validates that without a hyper-specific niche, it's going to be a hard time to get things going. Recently, I've been way more in alignment. This is crazy. Like, for me, right now at this point in my life, I'm going through like a lot of big shifts in my life. I'm packing up my life, moving overseas. All these things are happening in my life right now. But regardless of all of that, I have never felt more clarity in my life about what I'm doing. I've never been more in alignment with, it says value here, it should say values. I really have taken some time to understand what my values are in life. If you look back up here, where are we? I never thought, like one of my values is like free time, freedom, that sort of thing. So this is why I never scaled my previous fitness coaching business, because I didn't want the big team. I didn't want to do that. So, and I wasn't aware of what that value was I had back then. So now that I understand my values, I understand my direction and my purpose, it all feels on point. So for me, this feels like play. And this, I can guarantee you, also then ties back in with this, working 5 hours a day. Why am I not working that much? Well, I'm in so much alignment right now that it's all easy for me. It's all play, so I can get the work done efficiently. Next, I've been hyper-focused on stacking what we call core identity content and the community funnel, and then giving it rocket fuel by implementing paid traffic. I'm going to go into the acquisition system in a moment's time and give you a sort of the 30,000 foot overview on that. But the interesting thing here is like core identity content is like speaking to people's values, beliefs, worldviews, shifting their worldviews, and really helping them see who you are as a person, and that kind of then blends into the community funnel. This has been pivotal for people to connect with me, and this is what's made making sales extremely easy for me as well, through this specific content. But as you know, if you just rely on content, fuck, mate, it's going to take you 10 years to gain any traction. So I'm impatient as fuck. That's where we introduce paid traffic. We bring people into our world using some of our strategies, and it makes life just like, on 2 times speed, basically. The other really cool thing here, or the interesting insight, I should say, is that my clients and I use the exact same system. Whereas most of the other gurus out there, they attract clients and get clients into their programs, consulting, whatever, one way, but then they teach their clients a different way. Now, for me, that just feels out of alignment. For another business guru, if it doesn't feel out of alignment, so be it. But for me, like I said, I've never been more focused on wrong line here, being in alignment. For me, that's not in alignment. I want to practice what I preach. I want to show to my clients and my future clients, which are going to be you, that this is how I do things and this is how my clients also do things as well. So really interesting point there. But let's kind of like dig into the acquisition system here. So if we actually jump into Figma for a moment, this will make it a little bit easier for you to see. Here's a funnel. If you don't know what a funnel is, quick Google search, you'll work out what it is. Just type in sales funnel. Now here we have what's called the top of funnel. And this is basically how we're getting sort of our ideal prospects. That's actually, they're not a happy person. They're a sad person because they have a problem. And that's our job, is to help them with the problem. We have all these prospects out there in the market, but we need to attract them into our world. So the way that we attract them in is utilizing paid ads, as you saw me talk about before, and then leveraging our core identity content. Now for us in the Freedom Coach formula, we're focusing primarily on Instagram. The principles we teach work on any platform, but our biggest driver is going to be Instagram. I feel that that's just the place you need to play at the moment. So all we're trying to do is pull people into our Instagram from paid traffic and content. Hopefully you're following along here. This content that we're using is really strategic in nature. That's the important note. And then we're just using one really simple Instagram ad. If you want to go check out the ad, just go on Facebook ads library or whatever it is, type in my Instagram and you'll see the ad that I'm running. It's so simple. You can be like those other guys, copy it, go bootstrap it, whatever, but I guarantee you that you're going to come crawling back to me in a couple of weeks time, be like, oh Josh, I need your help now. And most likely my prices will have doubled at that point. Then we move into the middle of funnel. Now, just please also keep in mind, this is like a 30,000 foot overview. If you want a more in-depth video on this, just DM me on Instagram and I'll send you over something with a bit more detail. Then we have middle of funnel. So this is where our prospects are now somewhat warm and they're in our ecosystem, we call it. We want to continue warming them up, right? And the interesting thing here is, let me show you this, is every lead will have their own unique incubating time depending on their buyer awareness level. So this little thing here is an incubator, you can call it an oven, whatever. We're incubating our leads and our prospects inside of here. And the way that we do that is with lethal VSLs, and I'm always 100% transparent. This is one of those lethal VSLs right now you're watching. We then have retargeting ads to put our offers and content up in front of their faces again, so we're paying for attention. We then use daily content plus stories and then strategic hand raises as well. This is warming them up and getting them to put their hand up and say, hey, I want to pay you to help me get to point B, I like to call it. And then we have bottom of funnel. So this is like the final process where they're red hot, ready to rock and roll. Appointment setting and making sales becomes a breeze when we use the community funnel plus our core identity content. So this is where we really get them to come into our world, get to know, like, and trust us. So then when it turns, where it comes time, for the DM process to happen, it's so easy to have the conversation because it feels like they know you. Then it's so easy to book a call because they already trust you. Then they follow the pre-call sequence, which is driving them to another lethal VSL. More nurturing, more incubating. Think about it. Then when it comes time for the sales call, it's basically just like, let's just call this. Let's just say new client. It should just say new client enrollment, right? That's all it is it's an enrollment call. It's not a sales call. At this point, they should know that you can help them. It's as simple as that. That's the whole point of this system. It takes a little bit longer to work. However, it makes the entire sales process so much easier. So much easier. You indoctrinate your leads and prospects really, really easily by following this simple system. If I was you, I'd screenshot this bad boy, try bootstrap it yourself. If not, shoot me a message on Instagram and I'm going to walk you through exactly how it's done and how we do it. But some final thoughts. I'm super grateful for everyone that's put their trust in me on this journey. That's the crazy thing here. It's like, I've been at this for 4 years now. It's been roughly 4 years to get to 53K cash. When I was getting started, I was struggling for 6 months to make even a couple of grand. If I had of, think about this, just gotten help earlier, I could have made more cash earlier. If you're just getting started, 25K in a month probably sounds unrealistic, but everything that I teach can get you to 5K a month, can get you to 10K a month, 20K a month, 30K. This system is really good at helping regardless of the level and capacity that you're at. So that's the final thought is like, I'm super grateful for everyone that's put their trust in me so far on this journey. And then I want to give a massive shout out to my client, George, who's my very first client inside of the Freedom Coach Formula. I've been coaching for ages now, so this isn't like my world's first client, but George is the first client in the Freedom Coach Formula. So he's going to be my day one. But also he just got his first sale, right? Here's a screenshot from the message. The client above is locked in, first paying client. Here's me cherry popped. How much? 1,800. Boom. And I was like, how does it feel? And he's like, bro, fucking awesome. $1,800 Instagram post and someone needing the exact path I can show them. This is focusing on core identity content. Cliche, but full conscious congruency, being paid to help in a way I know I can. Again, my clients are in alignment because I'm in alignment. So proud of you, man. Wait till things get cooking with the ads and content. So George is just getting started. We've only just posted a couple of posts. We haven't even launched ads yet. We haven't even started our content ecosystem yet. Imagine when that's in play, the result, like, it's a no-brainer. It's going to be fucking insane. But the bigger thing here, and the reason why I'm showing you this at the end, is because I'm in alignment. I know my purpose. I know where I'm going. And this is where so many coaches get stuck, is they don't know what they're doing. They just want to know the funnels and the tactics and the strategies and the hacks. If you don't know where you're going, you won't be in alignment. You won't have clarity. If you don't know the direction you want to go or what your purpose is or what your fucking goals are, you're going to go at your business blind, and you're going to be like me way back when I started, and you're going to fuck around for 6 months. The reason why George is gaining traction so quickly is he's in alignment. Why? He's done the fucking work at the beginning before he started his business, and boom, straight away, sales are coming in. So to wrap this up here, if you want to get on what we're doing inside of the Freedom Coach Formula, just shoot me a DM on Instagram. It doesn't have to be a fancy word, just fucking message me. I'll send you a video of a full in-depth breakdown of what we're doing, and then we'll book in our enrollment call. Just like I said, my job is just to warm you up and give you as much information as possible. I'll send you a video that goes way deeper into what we're doing. I'll give you a full peek behind the curtains on how everything works. But other than that, my friend, hope you got a little bit of value out of this. Look forward to seeing you inside of the next video.